you considered the messages your outfits send? What do you think your clothes say about you? See, style is about the clothes, but it's not really about the clothes. Every day you make choices about what you're going to wear, but what are you communicating? Welcome to Above and Beyond Style. I'm your host, Maria DiLorenzo, and in 2019, I founded MFD Style, where I provide a unique, intuitive approach to personal styling for those ready to embrace a more meaningful look. With this podcast, I'll uncover key elements of where spirituality, psychology, and style intersect, revealing how you can make intentional wardrobe choices that reflect who you really are. So let me ask you, are you ready to transform into your authentic self? Then it's time. Come with me on this journey, and together, we'll take your style above and beyond style. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Above and Beyond Style. This is season 2, where I am welcoming friends, colleagues, fellow experts in the world of design and beauty and style to join me to have these conversations about some of these deeper level meanings and messages that we have around this perspective. So I'm really excited because I have a wonderful guest with me today who I've gotten connected with over probably about the last year and a half or so. And it's just been a really fun discovery through Instagram, which is one of those things where you never feel like you'll make meaningful connections. But here, in fact, we did, which was really lovely and a wonderful opportunity for me to connect a bit more with her and for you to also get to know a little bit more about her. So I'm welcoming today JoEllen Woods, who is a wife of 19 years and a mother of 4. So she is a busy woman. After living abroad with her family in New Zealand and Italy and traveling the world, she's come to appreciate a simpler lifestyle. Living in and visiting these other countries has helped her hone in on her style and beauty routine. And she really loves helping women look put together, feel more polished by sharing those simple style and beauty basic tips that evaluate how they look and feel. So she believes that when you feel good, you do good. And for me, that was just a beautiful way to sort of, as an intro, say, welcome, JoEllen. I'm so glad you're with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
So today, I really want to dig into this concept of who you are and the work that you're doing in particular around the concept of beauty and style. So I thought maybe you could give us a little bit more of an overview about who you are and some of your background. You mentioned in this intro some of your traveling and your own entrepreneurial journey. So,
okay, well, my life is interesting. It's definitely not the normal lifestyle, but I never thought it would be this way. Isn't that kind of cool how our life just evolves over time? My husband and I, we lived 8 years of our married life in Phoenix, Arizona. We raised our babies there and we lived the normal, average American lifestyle. Our kids were in elementary school. They were in club soccer. My husband, had a great job. We were involved in our community and our church, and we were busy. We were just busy doing the daily grind. And we were so busy that we just stepped back and we're like, we want something different and we need to change. We want to slow down and not be so stuck in this crazy rat race. And so we prayed a lot and we did a lot of research, and we felt that our family needed to move. We were comfortable and we were great in our lifestyle. There was nothing wrong, but we just knew we needed to change. And so the answer to our prayer was to move to a different country, which was not the answer that we were looking for, but it was an answer that we got, and it was an answer that we acted on. And so we decided to move to New Zealand, of all places. My husband got a job there, and we sold 3/4 of our stuff and moved to a different country. A lot of times I think we live in a very fast-paced and very Amazon quick and a very consumer-driven nation. And so we were stuck in that. And so over time, yes, we had gathered a lot of things, a lot of hand-me-downs, a lot of sale items, a lot of things over the years that we collected a lot of clutter. So we sold 3/4 of that stuff so we could live a simpler life in New Zealand. And it was so freeing. It was so liberating. And it just helped us focus on the things that mattered the most. And so while we were in New Zealand, living this different lifestyle, living a simpler life, we really enjoyed creating memories, collecting those memories instead of, collecting things. And we just didn't want to go back to the daily grind of American living. And so opened our eyes to just living a simpler lifestyle, but living a simpler lifestyle, but not having to sacrifice on living a beautiful life. You can still be fashionable and stylish and love beauty and experience those kind of things and still live a simple life. And so after living in New Zealand, and then we traveled the world for a year, we visited 17 countries as a family, living out of 4 suitcases, a family of 6. I got really good at learning how to look put together with a few amount of things. And then we moved to Italy for 2 years, and now we're back in the United States. And so now that we're back in the United States, I don't want to go back to that normal life that I had before. I want to still keep it pretty simple. I'm not a minimalist by any means anymore, but I definitely love to appreciate simplicity. And I like to just keep things very basic, very simple. And I like to help women feel that way too. And so because of my journey to New Zealand, to all the countries that we traveled, and to Italy, I've learned to appreciate the small things and to really hone in on my style and get back to the beauty basics, to look put together, to look polished. And I like to help teach that to other women. We are so overwhelmed with all the processes, all the products, all the techniques, all the styles, all the things that we don't know where to start and how to look confident in who we are and how we present ourselves. And so I like to keep it simple and back to the basics and really help women understand that. And so they can feel confident and show up in their best self.
I love this so much because the way you describe it, and I love that it's a bit of a journey, right? Like it wasn't an overnight decision for you and your family, and that there is taken additional commitment to staying the course of living this life where you don't need to be succumbed to all the clutter and all the things that can sometimes distract us and create almost like noise, right, in our world. And so I was really attracted to you initially because of that, because I could sense that sense of commitment to this simpler way that clearly brought out a deeper appreciation for what you have, the experiences you wanted to have for your family. If anybody's following JoEllen on Instagram, we'll talk about her feed and all that later. But I love to see their travels, the things that you're doing with your family to create these memories and opportunities for you and your kids so that there is a better way to like hold on to some of those memories in really intentional ways. So that to me was always a really important part. Would you agree that that was a commitment for you and your husband?
Absolutely. It takes a lot of self-control to stick with it, because now that we're back in the United States and when we were in New Zealand and when we were in Italy and when we were traveling, it was easy to not accumulate that stuff because it wasn't easily accessible. Like we didn't have Amazon in New Zealand. We didn't have quick shipping, and we had to be really intentional with what we bought because we didn't have the availability of some of the items. But now that we're back in the States, I feel like we have to be very intentional and have a lot of self-control with what we bring into our home so that we don't end up back where we were, 8 years ago, collecting all the things and continuing to focus on the memories, the experiences, and the things that really matter.
One of the things you said this, and I'd like you to dig in a little bit on this, because when I work with my style clients and we're editing their closets, and sometimes that goes into other aspects of their home, and we're really getting down to those pieces that they're using and really appreciate and value and love, they often will say there's this sense of like freedom, and it's like the weight has been lifted or the albatross around your neck has been removed, right? Can you talk a little bit about that for you guys and what that did for you and your family?
Yeah. So when we moved from Phoenix to New Zealand, like I said, we sold literally 3/4 of our stuff. We went to New Zealand with a shipping container of a 20-foot shipping container with just our basics, the things that we needed to live. I mean, we had all of our needs met. We did not live like sparingly. We lived still in abundance, but we got rid of all the excess. And so it was so liberating because I didn't have a garage full of bins and boxes of clutter. I only had what we needed. We had our furniture, our cookware, our cleaning stuff. We had our clothes. We had the things that we needed. That was it. And so now that we're back in the States, we've started from scratch because we sold literally everything when we moved from New Zealand to travel. And so we've started from scratch. And so we've been very intentional with what we put back in our home. I don't buy anything for my home or for my closet unless I really put some thought into it. Do I really need this? Do I have a purpose for this? Do I have a use for this? Is this something that I need? So I'm slowly accumulating things as I need them and not just buying things because it's on sale, because someone told me to, because someone gave it to me. Now, when someone gives me a gift, I say, thank you. I appreciate it. But if I don't need it and I won't use it, I don't have the guilt with keeping it. I'm okay with either regifting it to someone who will love it and use it, donating it. And so I've really been able to detach myself from the emotion of collecting things, holding on to things, buying things, and just being really intentional with what I bring into my home and having a purpose and a use and a love for what I bring in.
I might argue that is a real spiritual practice, that whole concept of getting really clear about the things that you need and want and feeling that detachment from those things, that your fullness, your abundance of your life does not come or is not derived from those types of things. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that for you and if that resonates at all.
Absolutely. Things are just material. That just life. When we die, we're not going to take away our material things with us. It's our memories and our experiences and those things. Those are the things that matter. And so I have 4 kids, and we really like to focus on creating those memories together. Birthdays are interesting. While we were living abroad and traveling, birthdays were very minimal. I love birthdays. I love spoiling my kids and making them feel special, but it was less on collecting all the gifts and all the things that we can give them, but more like, hey, how can I make you feel special? And so we would create those memories. We would, hey, what experience do you want to have for your birthday? We'd go out to all like the fun restaurants, have the fun food, or go do something together. Those are the things that I feel are more important than collecting the things. And as we're back in the States, I have to be more intentional. Tomorrow is my son's 17th birthday. And back in the day, I would have bought like tons of stuff because I wanted him to feel spoiled and loved and appreciated. So I would have bought him lots of goodies. But now I hope that I have passed this on to my kids, that it is quantity or quality over quantity, that is more important. So now their birthday lists are not like 10, 15, 20 items long. They're like 5 items. Yes, they might be more expensive things, but they are more intentional, more high quality, more things that I know that they're going to use and love. And so I'm hoping that through our learning process over the last few years, we pass it on to our kids, that quality is much better than quantity. And that goes with material things, that goes with also experiences too, having those high quality experiences versus collecting all the things.
Yeah. And I love this for you because, again, as I sort of watched your journey on Instagram, you have sort of fluidly talked through your style decisions and really helping kind of curate this very intentional closet. And then from what I understand, about 5 years ago, you signed on with a company to also get in the beauty industry. So this is a really beautiful way, I think, that complements so much of the style work that I see and do with my clients, that I'd love to hear more about your experience with this and the women that you've worked with through this experience.
Yeah, I love, excuse me, I love sharing the things that I've learned with other women. Obviously, not everyone's going to have the opportunity to pack up and move to another country or visit the world. I totally understand that, but hopefully through the experiences that I've had, I can impart that and help other women feel empowered and confident in who they are without being weighed down with all the things. I really like to teach women, you do not have to have a huge closet full of clothes to feel confident and beautiful. It really truly is about the quality, about being intentional about what you put on your body. I am a firm believer on like, there are certain colors that you look great in. Every one of us has a different body type and shape. And so there are certain cuts and styles that look better on us. And so I really try to focus on those important aspects and teach women how to feel good and confident in who they are and how they show up. You do not have to have tons of clothes. You don't have to spend tons of money. You can have a capsule wardrobe, if you will, and work it well, and just put some really good high quality pieces that are going to look great on you, and just wear it over and over and feel great. Same thing with your beauty. I love teaching women what colors will look great on them, because I feel like the colors you wear on your face is so important. So many of us are wearing the wrong colors, and it doesn't flatter us. It doesn't help us look our best. And so I love helping women pick out the right makeup colors to enhance their natural beauty, not cover it up, not to put a mask on, but to just enhance what you were born with and what God has given you.
That is so amazing. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about the beauty industry, that can be a bit, your message sounds a little countercultural, right? Like, here we are, we see this beauty industry that is bringing in probably billions of dollars a year, and is selling us on this ideal version of who we are, and trying to create some sort of disconnect between how we show up and how we should show up. Right. And so it's hard, I think, sometimes particularly for women, to make that connection with being able to see themselves as beautiful, as worthy, as, again, you mentioned about like highlighting what's already there and giving that sort of sense of worth and value with who they are and how they show up in the world. It's just that enhancing. So I'm curious, you've talked a lot about your interest and like willingness to want to be a teacher in this, and to really help women understand and learn about some of these aspects. Can you talk a little bit about your sort of the teaching aspect of the work you do, and what kind of conversations are you having with women in the discovery, whether that's through style or through beauty, that might be useful to our listeners?
Sure. It's so funny. My sisters, I have two older sisters, and they went to college to be elementary school teachers. And I thought that was kind of be my path too. But as I dug into it, I was like, nah, that's not really for me. I really love beauty. And so I actually went to esthetician school, and that's skincare and makeup. And I loved it. It was totally different than my sisters, but it was what really gave me light in life. And I really enjoyed that whole beauty realm. Looking back now, I'm like, I am a teacher. I am a beauty teacher. And so I love it. I love giving women the tools so they can recreate the look themselves. I don't find joy in just putting makeup on their face and like, here you go. Aren't you beautiful? Like, I find more joy in teaching them how to contour, teaching them how to do an easy eyeshadow look, teaching them how to color correct, teaching them how to recreate these looks in their home so they are empowered and they have confidence to do it themselves and show up as their best self. I love giving them the tools to do that in their home so that they feel their best, and they can pass that down to, their daughters or their friends or their family, and be a light. Because I truly believe that when you feel good, you do good. And so if I can help give women the confidence in how they feel about themselves, then they will, do that in their community and in their small circle of influence. They will show up in a better way, and they will be able to pass that goodness on to others.
Yeah. The pay it forward, right?
Absolutely.
Concept. Yeah. Does anybody come to mind? I know you've worked with countless women now in teaching and educating them in this space. Does any one story, without giving names or identities, come to mind about kind of that transformation of self, like more than just about highlighting their natural beauty, but where they started to really see themselves with deeper value and worth?
Sure. I have countless numbers, of women that will message me and say, oh my gosh, I am so grateful that you taught me this. You color matched me perfectly. I get compliments all the time. My husband was telling me how beautiful I am. He never compliments me. I'm like, oh, it just makes me so happy that they feel that way, but then also so sad that they were lacking that affirmation to begin with, but I'm so grateful to be able to give them that confidence and that help them shine. There is one woman in particular, she is a cancer survivor. So she has been through the ringer. She is now in remission, but through her journey, she found me and she wanted to feel more like herself. You know, you through cancer, you lose your hair and you feel gross and you feel like you just don't feel or look yourself. And so she was reaching out to me because she wanted to get some of that normalcy back into her life and help her look and feel better. And so I helped her find the right makeup colors. And in what I do, I work one-on-one with women. I color match them. I tell them what colors will be best on them. And then I also answer any questions. They can text me or email me or message me on social media, and they can ask me questions like, hey, you know, what colors will look good on me? Or now it's a new season. What color should I be wearing? Or how should I do this? Or how can I color correct, you know, these discolorations or hyperpigmentation on my face? And I work with them one-on-one. And she in particular, she and I have a conversation all the time, usually through social media. And she'll just message me like, hey, can I get your recommendation on this? Or, hey, you help me with this? And I just give her some one-on-one beauty help. And I love it. It's been so fun to see her transformation in her confidence and her attitude and she has such a positive attitude through this whole thing. And I think that's one of the main reasons why she is in remission, is because I feel like when you have a positive attitude and outlook and you try to show up in a positive way, you're able to have so much more power in healing physically, mentally, spiritually. And so it's been really cool to see her transformation and confidence and getting through this journey and seeing her just shine in her beauty.
I love how you've framed that with, it's really about her mindset and where she came to sort of see the deeper, importance of coming at, for anyone who is in the midst of cancer or been touched by cancer. It is a challenging disease that really, particularly for women, can strip them of aspects of their identity. And, we won't go into all the specifics there around, versus treatments and different conditions that women I know are dealing with, and men too. I don't want to just exclude men from this conversation, but in this particular instance, it's important that there's this cultivation of a mindset of positivity and health and wellness and abundance that I agree with you that I think can really transform someone's experience through their health battle. That it's almost like you can't quite put your finger on it, but we've seen and witnessed the power of what that can do for people. And what I love about your story, in particular with using beauty and even in style, is that it's giving women the tools that they need to be able to do these. And some of it might be a very small, subtle thing, and some of it might be a more significant transformation, but it's having the tools. And again, going back to your love for teaching and learning, I think it makes so much sense then to enable people with these tools. So I just would be curious about, for you, when you think about the women and all of the people that you get to connect with and being able to provide them these tools, what sort of stands out to you in that experience?
Well, I think that our culture, we're so bombarded with all the techniques and products and all the things that we're overwhelmed. We've lacked confidence in ourselves. We've lacked we don't trust ourselves anymore to make decisions. We want to be told what to do and how to do it. And so I really like to help women feel empowered and give them that confidence and the knowledge so that they can make those decisions themselves, whether it's in style or beauty. I like to walk through why you should be wearing this or why you should be applying this makeup this way, why we do it, how you can do it, so you feel confident in who you are and how you show up. Like there are lots of style, quote rules and beauty quote rules, but rules are meant to be broken. So I like to share the things that would maybe enhance your beauty the best, but I also like to give them a few different ways to do it, and then they get to choose. Like I like to say, when you have brown eyes, purple eyeshadows look best on you, but here's some other color combinations that look great on you too. And so I like to help give them options so that they feel empowered by being able to choose what will look best on them. Mom jeans are huge right now. Mom jeans and baggy jeans and all those things. And we're bombarded with the styles and the trends that we're told to wear. But guess what? You don't have to wear them just because they're trendy or just because that's what's in the store right now. And so I like being able to give them the tools and the knowledge to be able to make those choices for themselves so they feel empowered and they feel confident and they feel like they can make the decision themselves and feel confident in how they show up.
Yeah, that to me is such an important part of this process. And for anybody that has worked one-on-one with a service provider like you or I, to be able to have them sort of take that knowledge and move it into their life in a way that is really customized for their own lifestyle and their experience, like that's the best thing to watch and to see and to know that like, oh, I had a little part of like how that launched that person into this experience in their life. And maybe they'll share it, as we said, the pay it forward. Maybe they share it with the people in their lives and can start to really speak and really sit in the comfort and the knowledge that they've come to know and really appreciate through that experience. So I love the, like, it's almost like an image of the domino effect, right? Like you just start to trickle out all these different people that can start to be touched by this one experience that you're using with this one-on-one opportunity. And who knows where it takes you beyond that, and who else gets to be to have the advantage of having some of that information passed on through this. So that to me is like really cool when you talk about the, like, they get to make the choice, and it really gives that person the individual power and ownership over what that looks like for them. It's such a cool.
Yeah, and I think that we sometimes overlook the importance of beauty and style.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very material, it is a facade, but also it can be very powerful. Like the way that it makes us feel and look matters. And so when we feel comfortable in our body and when we feel confident in what we're wearing on our face or on our body, it really does matter with how we feel. And like we said, like the whole pay it forward, when you feel good, you do good. And so I really do feel like when you take time for yourself to understand what looks best on you, or just take a few minutes each day to do your hair, your makeup, and get dressed, it really does matter. And it really does make a difference when you take care of yourself and you feel confident in how you show up. You present yourself in a different way. You feel more put together, you feel more polished, and that makes a difference in your actions and how you show up. And that's what I like to share with women, is how to look more put together, look more polished, so that you can show up in your best self. We need more women in our world to feel more confident in who they are and just be, brave and showing up in their best self. And we need to have a voice and do better things in our communities, because there's a lot of darkness and we need more light.
Oh, I just, like, my soul is singing as you're expressing these ideas, because I talk about the authentic self a lot, and really wanting that individual to come to know and understand, like, who is the authentic me, right? And what is the authentic expression of me? And that has to include how we dress our bodies, how we show up in the world, how we connect with other people in relationship, how we're in our communities, all of that. And it's funny because I always find in the conversation around style and beauty, like, that is missing a lot of the time. It's sort of what gets pushed forward is sort of the shallow aspects of, not wanting to age, or, wanting to look the thinnest, or, whatever the message that we've been all conditioned to have over the years, that we lose sight of. Truly, I would hope that beauty and style could leverage this, like, true self. Like, where's your true self, and how do I get to be in relationship with your true self, so that it can be seen and known and experienced and celebrated between people. And I love the work that you do, because I think it just highlights all of that.
I love that. We live in a society where we're trying to stay at the same age, anti-aging, like all the procedures and the Botox and all the things and the diets, and it just, let's embrace who we are. It's natural to age. It's natural to have sunspots. It's natural to have cellulite. It's totally fine. I have stretch marks from carrying 4 babies. That's normal and that's okay. And so we just need to embrace our natural selves and just enhance our beauty, not cover it up, not change it, just enhance the experiences that we've had through our age.
That is like the perfect way to wrap this up, JoEllen, because it reminds us that wherever you are on this journey, wherever your life is going to take you, just to learn to really value and appreciate yourself and to celebrate all the various aspects of the ways that your body has taken you through this life, right? And whatever shape, turn, twist it's taken, there's great value in that. So I'm just so grateful to you for helping me highlight some of these messages and really remind people the importance of all the work that you're doing. So thank you.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was fun to have this conversation. I feel like we need more women to shine their light.
Yeah, that's going to be my tagline for this episode. We need more women to shine their light. So JoEllen, for anyone who wants to follow you, connect with you, how might they do that?
Oh, you can find me in basically all the platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, my blog at I am JoEllen, IAMJoEllen.
Amazing. And guys, if you haven't or aren't already following her, you should, because she's a wonderful follow, a bright light in the sometimes dark space of social media, and really just gives me so much hope and inspiration for the ways that simple life and family and experiences and beauty and style can all come together in almost like a really seamless way. So JoEllen, thanks again for being with us today, and I'll hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thanks so much for listening today. If you enjoyed what you've heard, I would appreciate you taking the time to leave a review on the podcasting platform you're using and share this episode with others who you think might really enjoy these conversations about personal style. For more information all about MFD Style services, you can find me on the web at mfdstyle.com, on Instagram at mfd_style, where I post almost 5 days a week, or send me an email at maria@mfdstyle.com. I also have a weekly email I send to subscribers, so I will include the link to that sign up in the show notes. So until next time, friends, remember to love yourself and then love yourself some more.